about social media.
Let's go.
Like more or less, I want to pick your brain a little bit because you're a professional full-time barber, and I know you use your platform. I know you use YouTube and Instagram to make your business happen. So tell us a little bit about that.
All right. So so check it out. So I actually started my Instagram like for barbering. I want to say I started like maybe 3 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. I don't know exactly when, because I had been on IG for a while before that, but obviously I used that when I used to rap. You know, I would be posting my music videos, my bars, whatever, yada, yada, yada. So I used IG for that. And then I got into the whole bodybuilding fitness type deal. So I switched because I used to be Big Tank GDE because the name of my label was Grind Daily Entertainment. So it was Big Tank GDE. That's what my IG handle was. But once I started working out and I really wasn't doing the music thing anymore, I switched it to Tank Zilla Gaines. You know, Zilla Gaines was my little thing, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, there was a time where, you know, I was really big onto the fitness thing. And then here, like maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I always tell people this when I do like classes or people pick my brain about this. I like refound myself in cutting hair because I've been cutting hair since 2000. Well, legally in a shop since 2007, right? So that's a good amount of time. What, that'll be 15 years? Yeah, 14 years, 15 years. Yeah, coming up. Yeah, and on my daughter's birthday, June 22nd will be. Well, her birthday is 21st, but June 22nd will be 15 years in the same shop that I'm in now. But anyways, so I refound cutting hair. Like it became a passion again because I'm not gonna lie, I got burnt out, dude. That's why I was like fishing, doing other things. Like I was doing the bodybuilding thing. And when I refound everything, I said, you know what? I need to really get onto this. And I was real big on like, I've always been big on social media. Like I would always get on Facebook, Instagram, you know, MySpace, you know, stuff like that, you know, just to search and use that to help boost, you know, what I would do, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, man, you know what? I need to make a haircut, you know, a barber Instagram. So I remember, dude, for the longest, I was texting my wife and I was texting some of my boys, like, well, what should I be? Cause I didn't want to be just Tank the Barber, you know, Ricardo the Barber. I was like, nah, like everyone's the barber, you know, the barber. And then I was looking on it and I was like, everyone's blends, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's cuts, you know? So I was like, what could I do? And I think it's just like, cause the shop I work at is called Choppers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, I think that'd be tight. Tank be chopping, you know, because you know that's what I do. I be chopping heads up all day long. So you know, I made a new Instagram account, like I said, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I feel like it grew pretty quick. I don't want to say that I'm none of these like social media influencers, like Marv, and like they got this down to the science. Like, I don't do it like that. You know, mine's a little different. But long story short is I would always just get on it and post, and I feel like I grew it pretty good in like 3 years. I might like 3K followers on Instagram, and it's all organic. I didn't pay for nobody. I wasn't like, oh, hey, follow me, I'll follow you back. It's all just me posting, tagging, and just talking to people. But going back to what you said, how do I use that for me? All right, so
hold on. Before I
go ahead.
I had 2 questions from what you were just talking about. All right, so first, when you were in 2007, did you buy the shop then?
I don't own the shop.
Right off the.
I don't own the shop. Everyone thinks I own it because, this is another secret that I'm gonna tell both of y'all. Well, it's a little gem for everybody. The best thing to do, whether you're working at a shop or you own it, is act like you own the shop. Meaning, you clean up after yourself, you clean up after other barbers, you make sure you're sweeping, you run it like it's yours, meaning you make sure the restroom is good, make sure when you have time for lunch, ask your other barbers there who work with you, like, hey, I want something to eat, whatever. People walk in, new clients walk in, hey, how's it going? Did you have an appointment? Yada, yada, yada. When any client leaves, all right, man, you have a good day. And people get that mindset on you like he's the owner. And it's crazy because we're all like that. Yeah, everyone in the shop is like that. So they always ask us like, who owns the shop? And it's crazy because so the owner that owns the shop, he actually doesn't even work in the shop anymore. He actually works in the plants. You know what I'm saying? He does that that's his type of work now. So he doesn't even work in the shop.
Like jardinero? Or what do you mean the plants?
Like the refineries.
Oh, orale.
The refineries.
Jardinero.
No, like the refineries.
Landscaping?
No, like the refineries. You know what I'm saying? Like okay. But anyway, so everyone always comes in and they're like, well, who owns the shop? And we have this thing going on in there that we don't want anyone to know who owns the shop. So we always point the fingers. Yeah, it was like, oh, it's Matt. Nah, Matt's like, no, I don't own the shop. It's Tank. Tank owns it, man. He's on YouTube, bro. He owns the shop. And then we have another barber. His name's Joe. He's been with us on and off for like longer than I've been there, you know. And he's got a big beard. It's gray, you know, it's black and gray. He's got a touch of gray, a little bit of bald spot. So we're like, nah, it's him. You know, he owns the shop. He's the oldest one in here, bro. Like he owns it. So everyone really doesn't know who owns it. And this is a funny thing because like you said, you were asking me, did I buy it or anything? It's like, really, no, dude. Like I just got put into a good position with like-minded barbers who didn't want to be like greedy. You know what I'm saying? Like you have some barbers who are really like, oh, this is my shop. I run this. Like I'm the best one in here. And us, it's the exact opposite. Like people walk in, and y'all don't get it because I don't work in a shop, but I'm sure y'all heard it. Someone will walk in, and this always grinds my gears, bro. Like it upsets me. Who's the best barber in here?
Oh.
And it's like you said, like none of us, bro. Like we all suck. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want to do with you. That's just how we are.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what it is, man. Like the owner doesn't work there. Me and one of my other boys, you know, Matt, we basically like manage it. I guess you can say I'm more on the social media, internet type thing of it, and he does more of the like the down in the trenches type shit. Like if something messes up and he's there, he'll call like an electrician to come fix it. You know, he does more of that type of stuff.
Wait, you don't fix that stuff yourself, bro? Oh, we're gonna need your card back now. No,
I don't. I pay somebody, bro. Like, I don't got time. I'm a barber. You. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's dope though. That's dope.
And then the second part was Choppin. Is that some Texas like slang?
Yeah, it's Texas slang. So
yeah.
And I feel like people.
Have you met?
Huh?
Did you know that they say that?
Yeah, I worked in Texas a good amount of time back in the day. I used to travel out there 3-4 times a year to do like rookie training camps for the company I work for to mentor people. And some of my best friends within the company are all out there in Texas because we used to train them at their stores. And just I got used to the way they talk, to be honest.
It's crazy because I mean, I kind of figured it was slang like for like here, but I figured everyone kind of knew. And it's kind of crazy because when I hear people saying it like on YouTube, I feel like they feel uncomfortable saying it. They're like, "Oh, shout out to Tank B Choppin," and it's like,
run Barbers."
yes, bro. It is
everything that they say sounds a little uncomfortable because they got a different language. You know what I mean?
Oh, let me do my Run Barber impression.
In a good way. In a good way. Lever. Just go ahead. And
he's like, no. He says, for the nomination, I'd like to take Tank B Choppin. I'm like, damn, Tank, he be chooping too.
No, mama's sweet. No, but yeah, that's basically like Houston stuff, dude. Like if like whatever you do, like for instance, like if you're big on like how can I like if you're good in the kitchen, like you be cooking food like good, you like throw down, like everyone wants to go to your house because you barbecue good or you cook good. They were like, man, like Morales, he be cooking, bro.
He be
Morales
cooking.
be grilling. You know, like that's what you do. Like and then that's what you do. Like
no. I get that B part, but I don't get the chopping.
Oh, the chopping. Oh, okay.
So
yeah,
you guys
chopping, bro. Chopping.
Yeah, chopping.
Yeah, get a chop. Yeah.
That's that. I feel like the Cali uses that a lot too. To be honest with you.
Well, you know what? It's crazy because I don't know if this is true or not, and this might be like for after hours or an after dark special. But I remember we had some guys come. No, it's weird. Hold on, don't do that. It's weird. No, it's weird. Like it's nothing like that. We had some people come from. I want to say it was Cali. And this is years ago, dude. Like years ago, they came into the shop and we were talking. They're like, hey, like what you know, like we asked them, hey, like, were you gonna get a chop or something like that? Like, were we gonna chop you up or it was something like that? Yeah. And they like looked at each other and then looked at us and like, bro, do you know what that means?
It used to. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
It means fellatio.
Yeah, it does.
Fellatio.
But that's an old
and we're
word.
like, what?
That's a word. It's the same way that like I was telling Morales about blasted. Like back in the day, Chicano culture in Northern California, if you said I'm gonna go get blasted, it was getting tattooed. You know what I mean? But it was only, but that's gone. Now you say blasted around these kids nowadays, and they're like, well, wait, you're gonna get messed up. Like it's drinking.
Yeah,
you know
see, that's what I thought. When you said blasted, I thought you meant like I'm gonna get fucked up.
I thought that meant get shot.
Well, yeah, I mean, that too, but
come on.
But the whole chops, I get that because there was a certain moment, certain part of California, you could say that they did use that in that sense, but it didn't stick. If you say it today, that's not what it means anymore.
Not what it means,
You know what I mean? I think they were just trying to be cool kids, you know.
But yeah, that's a Texas thing, man. Like, yeah, I'm chopped up, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to chop. I'm getting my chop because I mean, I don't know why. It's just like I don't know. It's just a word that I feel. I don't know. It's a northern. I thought everyone.
It's like Texas. Northern Texas, no? Like
I think it's all Texas.
I think it's all Texas. Yeah.
I used to live down there in Donna.
Well, you know, okay, so it's not like a Nah, I guess it just depends because we have people that still get like they're on the phone and they're like, man, I'm getting a chop, or hey, I got to go get my chop real quick. You know what I'm saying? And yes, it is an older term. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe a lot of the younger people don't say that as often, but I think it's one of those terms that it's still there, but it's just not as time friendly as it was previously. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just a little Texas type thing, like choppers. Like that's what we do when we be chopping heads. Like you getting chopped up.
I'm gonna take you back, and I want to ask you something about the social media. You talking about Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I never had a Facebook. I actually only got Instagram until a couple years ago. I wasn't really into social. I didn't have time for social media, to be honest with you. But it was because my work didn't require it. I had LinkedIn, still have LinkedIn, and that's where I do a lot of my work on social media, right? But how much of a difference do you see in the add to your business or to your traffic flow of customers between IG and Facebook? Do you see one or the other impacting it more?
Yeah,
like you get more customers.
Okay, so Facebook has always been, I feel like for me, it's more of a, like, how can I say it? I don't run a lot of promotion on Facebook. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I just get on it to see what my friends are saying, family saying, whatever. Like I'll post, my videos and some haircuts on there every once in a while. I do have a business page for it. But for whatever reason, Facebook was never like my thing to promote a lot on. Like I tried it, but it just didn't go for me. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of the people who I had on Facebook, they already knew I cut hair. There were just a lot of friends and family. So it wasn't like, oh, like let's go to him. Like they were either already coming to me or they already had a barber. So it was like whatever. But Instagram, on the other hand, like I said, like I had watched what's that dude's name? Bald-headed dude, beard, man, what's his name?
MMA barber?
No. Older dude. Tariq. From I couldn't think.
Tariq?
No, Tariq. Yeah, I watched one of these this is when I first got into I first made my barber account on Instagram, maybe a year into it. He was big on like when you post a post, like you need to post your location or post something around your location. For instance, if you're like around a McDonald's that's within the vicinity of where you're at, post that you're at McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? So when you click on that, you'll see people at McDonald's, right? And then go in and like all their pictures. 2 or 3 pictures, give them a follow, go back, do another one. So honestly, dude, I did that a lot. Like I heard that and I'm like, man, that's pretty smart. So I did that for like, I want to say a month or so. And I got a lot of return clients from that. Like, oh, where you at? Where you located at? And I was like, man, I'm right down the street, bro. Like you were at this McDonald's the other day. Like I'm right across the street from that. Or you're at the mall down the street. I'm like 10 minutes from there. You know what I'm saying? I did that a lot. And even now I still do it. Like what I do now is I'll post and I'll tag like a different city. So where I'm located at is Pasadena, Texas. It's a little area outside of Houston. It's literally like you can drive down the street and it's there. Like 1 second I'm in Houston and the next second I'm in Pasadena. And then next to that is another city called South Houston. And it's literally like this, you know what I'm saying? And then a little further down the opposite way is Deer Park. And it's still like they're all within 10 minutes of each other. Yeah. So one day I'll post in Deer Park, one day South Houston, one day Pasadena. I just do that basically because those are people around me. But back to you were saying,
where the money's at, ain't it? Deer Park is where the money's at.
How you know?
It just sounds like
it sounds fancy.
You know what? It's a little more white. No, it is. It's fancy.
Well, that's where the money's at.
And it's literally right on the other side of the freeway. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no other different thing. Like literally one side of the freeway to the other. But yes, more people who live there are a little more bougie, have a little more money, can have a little more income, to spend on. Yeah, a little nicer. But when I got on Instagram, dude, and I started posting all these things, I started getting so many people like, hey, bro, you cut hair good. You're down the street. Yeah. And I started building up my clientele so much, like stuff that I didn't do on Facebook. Like it didn't work for me. And it's crazy because check it out, guys. Like this, the area that I'm in, see, I haven't posted the outside of the barbershop on Instagram or on Facebook or on YouTube in a long time. But if y'all like look at the area that I'm in, it's a lot of low income families. Like it's basically it's in the hood. You know what I'm saying? It's not a high income area. It's literally like, I would like to say that it's kind of in the hood, it's not the nicest part of town, you know what I'm saying? And it is what it is, but we're there because the rent, when we had to move shops because the old shop caught fire, like someone put the shop on fire and we had to move. So it was a last minute type thing. Like we just need to jump into a place and start being able to work quick. So it was in the, the lower end of part of town. Not saying that it's like, it's ghetto, but it's, it's just not the nicer part of town, whatever. Yeah. So it's crazy because we used to struggle getting people to pay $20 for an appointment, right? Check it out. $20. Like people would be like, oh man, that's too much. You're never going to get that for a haircut. Bro, I charge $50 a haircut now.
That's dope.
Oh, you did? When'd you go up?
Dope.
I've been doing this. I'm about to go up again, but shh, don't tell nobody. So right now, like my haircut price is 40 a haircut, and with the beard is 50. You know what I'm saying? So
that's the owner's special.
Yeah. So check it out. So where I'm located at, it plays no part in my price because I don't look for people in my area or look for people anymore. I used to, but now I don't look for people in my area to come and get a haircut from me. What I'm looking for is people who are willing to pay what my price is to come get a haircut. So they're looking at my Instagram like it's a business card. You know, they go to my Instagram like, and that's one reason why I don't post a lot of like personal stuff on my actual page. I will every once in a while, but I don't because I want to keep it just a little more professional. You feel me? But it's you go to and you see videos, you see pictures, you see me cutting hair. You're gonna see a kid getting a haircut. Like, I try to literally post a lot of different things just so when they do go to that page or whatever, for whatever reason, they see my versatility, like not just the fade, but they see tapers. They see me actually working in the shop. You know what I'm saying? They see that. And people who feel that it's worth it, they're going to come, dude. Like my normal client isn't even someone in the area. Like the average client comes they travel at least 15 minutes to come see me to get a haircut.
That's dope, bro.
It's a lot of social media because I don't pass out business cards, bro. I can't even tell you when the last time was I passed out business cards. No. You feel what I'm saying? Like I literally I tag people on Instagram. Like, you know, like for instance, like if I cut your hair, I would take a picture or take a video and I'll be like, hey bro, I'm gonna post you on Instagram. I'm gonna tag you. Hey, do me a favor and repost me.
Yep.
All right, man, I got you. You know what I'm saying? And then whatever, you know, you might get some followers from it, you might not, whatever, but you're gonna repost me. And I guarantee you at least 3 or 4 people are going to click on the barber who cuts your hair to see like who is this dude, like why is Fades going to him, or why is Ivy Mac going to Tank to cut his hair. Let's click on this guy and see what he's working with. And then another out of that, probably out of 5 people who click on my page, at least one is going to message me or want to get a haircut from me, at least one. Because like even now, bro, like it's crazy because like I've been doing it for so long and I'm already almost completely booked for this coming up week. Like I have a few spots available, and it's crazy because I get new clients every week still.
Wow.
Every week I still get new clients, and it has a lot to do with social media, but it's crazy because I don't feel like, I don't want to say that I'm not good on social media because everyone's like, bro, you're pretty good on social media, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not like I don't know if y'all know Polo Blends. Like his social media, it's crazy, bro. Like he's young and it's crazy good. You know what I'm saying? Like his yes. Same thing with Marv.
It's not quantity though. You're strategizing it. You did it in the beginning one way and it worked for you, and you evolved, and now you're making something work for you that works for what you got going on now. That's nuggets, bro. You dropping gems.
I got a nugget for you, dog. You know what you need to do? You need to make elastic cards. Your card should be made out of elastic. And they're gonna say, why is it elastic? And you say, because I'm the king of the stretch fade. Wait, you see?
Are we dropping dad jokes on here now, bro? What is going on? You funny,
like,
bro.
Nah, watch.
No, man, but it's like I take stuff like that, man, and it's I just try to use whatever I can to my advantage. Because like I said, like the whole picture taking thing in video, like a lot of people are like, dude, you always post the same haircut, the same videos, and it's like, yeah, I know, but I do that because these clients, some of them come to me weekly, you know, some of them are bi-weekly and some of them are maybe once a month, but they're the ones that repost me the most. And they're the ones that show the most love and the ones that I get the most referrals from. Like I have this one client, bro, his name's Eric. I've been cutting his hair maybe 2 or 3 years. I don't remember exactly how long, but bro, he's brought me so many clients. Like I swear to you, bro, it's crazy how many people he's brought to me. Like every time I get a new client and they come in, oh, hey, yeah, I follow Eric. You know, he's always posting you on Instagram. Or, you know, Eric,
I think I know who he is.
Is he the dude with the super high taper?
He does get, no, I know which one you're talking about. Not that one. He does have a comb over though. Okay. He has 2 kids. His name on Instagram is 3RK Fitness or something like that. But he's always posting me, bro. Like he's always either posting me cutting his kid's hair, his kid's haircut, or him pulling up to the shop. And it's literally
shout out to him. That's support.
Yes, right there, and I think that does more than me posting myself, because it's like you're gonna talk yourself up regardless if you suck, if not, whatever. It's like when we used to do music, we were like, oh yeah, I can wreck, right? But if someone else talks you up, it gives someone else more of a reason to want to check you out. So the fact that
talking my boy Ivy Mac up all the time.
And
it still hasn't worked. My channel still
Nah, man, but that's what it is, man. A lot of dope, like people talking you up, like reposting you. Like I feel like that's done the most for me because. So check it out. So he pays the price, right? He pays what it is, and he drops like $100 every week. He brings his kids to me also, so he comes every week. So he's dropping almost $100, sometimes more because he tips me well, or he got an after hours cut or whatever. So he's dropping that weekly, right? And he reposts me, and people are asking him, "Hey, who cut? This dude Tank? How much does he charge?" And he's like, "Oh, it's $40 or $50 or whatever." So now they already know off the bat that my price is a little higher than the normal barber in the area. But if they want that cut, they're not going to be like, "Oh, I'm not going to go there." Like if they want that cut, they're going to pay it. So that's why I say it's not.
This is the vato I thought you were talking. Oh shit! How do you?
I can't even see that. Oh, that's my boy. That's Frank. That's the fade. That's the fade. That's yeah. Hey, I love cutting that dude's hair, man. His hair just fades in so good.
Yeah, I see him all the time. I feel like I cut his hair.
All right, so I got one more question for you from this specific thing. What about YouTube? Have you ever gotten some starstruck clients in there? It's like, oh, I've been watching you on YouTube and I want to get a haircut by you. This is not. Does that ever happen?
I've had a few. I had one that I actually did a haircut tutorial. He's from the area. He's like from Crosby, which is like 30 minutes from the shop that I'm located at. And he's into cutting hair, obviously. So he said he started looking stuff up on YouTube, and he found me on YouTube, and he goes, "Oh, that's dope. This dude's from he's from the area." So he followed me on YouTube or subscribed, or whatever you want to call it. I'm not all hip with the new lingo now, but he subscribed to my channel on YouTube.
None of us are. It's all good.
And then he found that I had an Instagram, so he followed me on Instagram. So one day he messaged me, he goes, "Hey, I'm out on deployment in China or Japan." That's pretty racist of me, but I don't know the difference. But no, he was, I think he was in China, I believe.
One of them's a continent and the other one's an island.
Yeah, no, fool. They're both.
Wait, what? Don't throw no countries geographic
for one. But yes,
one is.
Nah, but he came back to Houston. But he came back to Houston, because I don't know how it works. I've never been in the army or whatever, but he had time to come back. So he messaged me, he goes, "Hey, I'm going to be back in town on this day. Do you have time to cut my hair?" And this is like a month in advance. I was like, "Yeah, just give me a time, bro." So he set up the time, came in, bro. He's like he picked my brain so much. Like we had the dopest conversation in the shop, and I actually did a YouTube video on his haircut.
I think so. Yeah, I remember. Everything you're saying, I'm like, I remember that.
I remember hearing this. Yeah, man. It's like it was the dopest.
Fade stalks you, just so you know.
No.
That's why.
That's cool.
I was like, "You own the shop?" Because I'm usually outside in the rain and shit, looking through the window. Like, how does he stretch it? How does he stretch that?
How does he stretch? No, I appreciate it. Look, I want me to tell you how you stretch it. Look, let me. This has nothing to do with the segment, but
breaking news.
When you go back and you detail, I bring up my one open a little more. And then I do my 1/16th, and that's what stretches out a lot. And then the clipper open, and that helps stretch it more. So
push it from the bottom up.
Yeah. So I literally just said it in my last video. I haven't posted it yet, but a lot of my detail work comes between the 1.5 guard and the clipper open, the 1/16th guard. So that's what gives that stretch look. Everything from the 1/16th to the 1.5, because everything after the 1.5 you can fade in this much with the clipper over. You know what I'm saying, or even just floating. You know what I'm saying? And then anything under, you still need a good amount of space to get that fade under the 1/16 guard. So everything between.
You would love the legends.
I don't know.
I don't think so, because I remember you saying you didn't love the stretched.
You know what? Lever. I didn't. But I really got real dude. I was using my JRLs a lot, like in the past 2-3 weeks.
Oh,
a lot.
Same shit. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's dope.
But anywho. So what were we saying?
No, you were talking about YouTube. So you have gone people.
Okay, yeah. So I did get him, and that was pretty cool. And then I had another dude. His name is, I can't remember his name. He's gonna probably hate me if he sees this, but he's really cool, man. Cool dude. He came into town, and he's from Dallas, San Antonio, somewhere in Texas. I'm not exactly sure, but he said he found me on YouTube, which is crazy because it's really rare that a client finds a barber on YouTube. It's mostly like people who cut hair look for people who cut hair, right?
Barbers,
yeah. But he said he found me on YouTube, and then he found my Instagram from my YouTube. And he goes, "Man, this dude's really good. I want to go check this dude out." Yeah, which is crazy. But I mean, hey, it worked, and and it's like, man, that's dope. And then so he came to me. I gave him a good haircut. He loved it, and he's always hyping me up. Like he jumps in my lives. He's always like, "Man, I need to come get another cut." He comments on my pictures. He's real cool too, man. That's and then dope. the barbers at the shop, bro, they're like, and we have a weird relationship, bro. Like we talk so much shit to each other at the shop. Like we've gotten like heated, like screaming at each other, like especially y'all gonna get mad at me for saying this, especially about politics. Like we get like right here about politics. You know what I'm saying? Even though we shouldn't, but we do. But
I think
like
me and you on the same side on that one, but we ain't gonna talk about it. But
yeah, we ain't gonna talk about it.
It's okay.
But
I'm anti-politics. It's okay.
Okay, it's cool.
But
but anyways, like when it comes to me on YouTube, bro, they hype me up like so much, bro. It's crazy. Like they make sure, like, hey, did you subscribe to Tank's YouTube? Like they'll tell my clients, like we'll be talking about something, and he's like, what, you got a YouTube? Like some people still don't even know I got a YouTube, which I think is crazy because I've said it millions of times. And I'm like, what, you got a YouTube? And like the other barbers get mad. Like, what you mean, bro? Your barber cuts hair, you're not even subscribed to his YouTube. Like you don't even check out his videos. So they'll like grab, like get out your phone right now, and they'll like give me your phone. They'll get on the YouTube and they'll go and subscribe and like put the fucking little ring notification. Like watch this shit. Like give him some money, bro. Stop being a hater. If you ain't gonna tip him, at least subscribe to his channel and watch his videos. You know, and it's crazy because like we have this weird relationship within the shop, and like I said, it's like family, bro. Like I've known these two other barbers who I work with now, you know, the whole time that I've been there, 14 years, you know, almost, you know, 15 years, and it's crazy. But yeah, man. So they help me a lot on YouTube, and I do get some people who follow me on Instagram and like, hey, I found you through YouTube. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them pick my brain. They're like other barbers and such. But I do have a few that, you know, they want to come to when they're like, oh, hey, when I come to Texas, man, I need to get a haircut with you. I want to check out the shop. I want to, you know, run some questions by you. And I think that's really tight, man. Like, I mean, I know I'm like nobody, to be honest, bro. Like, I'm just like y'all. Like, you know, I appreciate just the fact that y'all reached out to me for this.
You nobody, you like us.
You know what I mean, right? That's shit.
Okay. I was humbled by it, and Faith got pissed.
Shit. No, but like,
hey, nah, fool.
You know what I mean? Like we ain't nobody, bro. Like
hey.
we ain't no 360 Jeezy. We ain't no Basio, bro. We ain't no Run Barber. Like we're just some average dudes who cut hair who are just trying to make it on YouTube, just trying to grow our clientele, grow our money. That's what we're trying to do. Let's be honest. You know, this is what it is.
You're up there, dog. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, you have grown.
I mean,
a lot.
Like yeah, for sure. And like so like I'm being humble with you right now. Like it's cool, man. We can talk that, but I do hype myself up a lot, like amongst other people. And like I'll get like I'm playing around with my wife and my kids. I'm like, man, I'm on YouTube. Like, I get paid. I don't need this shit. Like get you know what I'm saying? I just start talking shit, and I do have the shop too.
King Kong ain't got no.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Like I'll be at the shop, like, you know, we play around a lot with our clients, and they'll be like, you know, in a bad mood or giving me an attitude or whatever. And I've known a lot of them for a long parts of their life, you know, a lot of them since they were like in elementary or middle school, and they're adults now getting haircuts with me. And I'm like, man, hey, bro, like, hey, don't come at me like that, bro. Like, I don't need this right now. Like, I can go to YouTube and get paid right now. Like, I don't need your haircut. I mean, it's all fun and games. Like, I don't really mean it. Like, I need the money. You know, I got bills. YouTube ain't paying like that yet. But it's just funny because, you know, just the way I come off like playing around. And I know a lot of people don't get my humor. Like, I have a weird sense of humor. But most of it's jokes. Like sometimes you can't even tell I'm joking, and like I feel like an asshole later on. So like, man, I was just playing, bro. Like it wasn't nothing serious.
I bet we got the same sense of humor, dog. I think
probably, man.
I think all three of us are hella similar. And hey, no. Okay, so you do have a big platform. I mean, whether you want to admit it or not, you do, dog. And you include like little vatos. I mean, not little vatos, but like us, like me and Ivy Mac, and calling us out and doing all that shit. That, hey, because of you, my YouTube channel has grown, dog.
Started growing. Yeah.
I can attest that. Like,
and look, I do it. Honestly, I do it because I mean, like I did the whole reaction thing for a little bit. That wasn't really like what I'm into. I mean, I can do it, you know, but I'm just not that great at it, right? But I did it because it was like, man, I want to react to these dudes cutting hair, because I know if I would have did, like I did the 360 every haircut challenge. He never reacted to mine. Cool. I didn't expect him to. He has a lot bigger. He's got a lot more stuff going on than I do. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, man, I put this challenge out there. So the fact that you took the time to do it, I felt that it was my duty to react to y'all and give y'all shout outs or whatever. Like I know I didn't do Ivy Max. He's probably like, motherfucker, like you reacted.
I'm writing down notes right now.
No, but honestly, I stopped reacting because the views that I would do on them, they started going down a lot. Yeah. Like the first 2 or 3 did really great, and then like the 4th and 5th one were like, So I'm like, okay, maybe I'm doing this too much.
I got a concept for you.
You know, what was that? Go ahead.
I thought the video you did with your girl where you guys throw back drinks was hella funny.
Oh,
I think you need to mix those two things up. Y'all react to the challenges together. I think that'd be hella funny.
So check it out. That's crazy
In a good
because
way.
I literally told her earlier. Well, okay, because Ant the Barber, y'all know Ant, right?
Yeah.
Ant the Barber.
No, who's that?
Nobody waiting on my he went on Instagram Live like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I have been telling my wife about this too. But he went on Instagram Live, and I joined it, and we were talking back and forth, and he was like, "Man, I would like to see you and your girl let her react to some haircuts first, and then you come back and say you're like y'all can play good cop, bad cop, like she can, because my girl has a good eye for haircuts, bro. Like when she sees a shitty haircut, she'll like nudge me, like, babe, look at that haircut, you know what I'm saying? And it's just, I guess it's something she does now because
be calling
she's
out
been
chili
with
balls?
me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And she knows I look at people's haircuts because I remember when we would first get together and we'd be watching movies or whatever, I'd be like, man, his haircut sucks. Or man, that haircut's bothering me. So I think she got accustomed to doing, like looking at what I'm trying to see. You know what I'm saying? So she has a good eye for haircuts. So she can play the bad cop, even though it's some stuff that I may want to say, but I don't want to be that guy, and then I come back and, give a little constructive criticism to it. So that we're actually going to shoot a video tomorrow on something like that. Well, I think what I'm gonna do, we're gonna react to some of my Instagram followers and stuff, like go through some of their haircuts and stuff.
Yeah, I think that'd be dope. I want to get some royalties, by the way. But I said it. No, that's what
I said it.
So do you guys watch basketball? You watch basketball?
Lightweight.
All right, so basketball is my, how can I say? No.
All I'm saying is because you were talking about people with bad haircuts and you guys see somebody.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I thought we were finna jump into sports. Okay, yeah, I watch basketball. I haven't watched basketball here recently, literally since the pandemic happened. I really haven't found the groove back into it. So I watch highlights. I know a little bit about what's going on, but I haven't really been watching it.
But what is it about that? I think I know what you're gonna say right now.
Steph Curry with the shitty haircuts.
Well, bro, not just him, but like how when I'm watching basketball, I can't stop looking at that. Like all these fools, I'm like, I know y'all got hella money.
Yes.
Got these messed
okay.
Up
one thing
I think Steve Kerr cuts his own hair. I mean, Steph Curry. I think
one thing that really pissed me off was Kevin Durant. How this dude got so much damn money and his haircut always like he never has a fucking haircut ever. Never. Like how do you like?
It's like a
you
one
don't even
all over.
Bro, and it's like, oh my god, it's so crazy.
It's not even clean. It's like they use the one guard on his hair. You need a detachable blade.
But you know what? It's like they use the one guard.
Detachable blade only challenge.
Hey, but it's like they used the one guard, didn't comb his hair out, and didn't even go with or against the grain. Like they went across it from here to here. Yeah. Like they went like this with it. You know what I'm saying?
They have no time for no lineup either. No, it's bad.
I don't understand why some people like. I mean, okay, so I know people are gonna spend their money with what they feel their money is valuable for. Meaning you're gonna waste your money on what you find is good. Some people want to buy $300 shoes, and some people ain't gonna spend more than $100. Some people will spend $300, $400, $500, $600 up to $1,000 on a watch when some people ain't even gonna buy a $50 watch. Mm-hmm. So I understand that, but it's like, bro, you're in the spotlight every day. Like you're playing on national TV. You have all this money. Like you can't find at least a decent barber. It doesn't have to be a great barber, but a decent barber to fade out your sideburn, fade the neck in a little bit, and give you a sharp little line.
Call him out. Tell him.
I mean, I just did.
Hey, his name is Tank B. Choppin. When you guys are in Houston, hit him up.
Hey, you know what? That's another thing too. I don't know if y'all know this, but 50 Cent came down to Houston. Like he moved down here.
Really?
I actually sent that dude a message, bro. Like I say, hey, if you need a haircut, bro, holla at me. Like I send him pictures. I mean, he didn't read it, but I do that a lot. Like when
that's dope.
When we traded when we got John Wall, Boogie, all them dudes here in the Rockets, I messaged all of them. Like I do that like all the time. Like, hey, if you need a haircut, like holla at me. And I mean, I haven't got no bites yet, but I mean,
if you get one,
I just do it. And yeah, I mean, it's not even like, I don't bet on it or like, I can't wait to load. I just do it. And if they respond, hey, great. Yeah. And if they don't, I already wasn't cutting their hair anyways, you know?
Yeah.
Here's another way of using your social media platform, by the way. Hey, we're taking it all back right there. Hey,
Mac, when you read a text, like a text or a DM from Tank, do you read it like how he talked? Like, do you read it like that?
Oh, is it playing in my head like that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never thought about that. See, I don't stop.
Hold on. How did you read it?
Huh? Hold on. I'm gonna have to pull one up.
Oh no. He about to throw a
no. But like
impersonation.
Like, for example, you said I should be home around that time too. So it would be like, I should be home around that time too.
Hold on. What? So you saying I sound like I got peanut butter stuck in my mouth? That's what it sounds like right now.
Nah. Hey, if anything, I got the squeakiest voice and I ain't tripping. So
I should be right home out too. Boy.
Real quick though, Faze, do you have any other questions for
about social media?
Before we move on to
I
the
do want to
next piece?
say thank you, dog. I do. Hey, all this bull BS. I do appreciate you, dog. For real,
hey, I appreciate y'all, man. On the cool, like
big time.
Like it's crazy, man, because like y'all over here, y'all hype me up, you know, y'all make me feel bigger than what I am, and I appreciate it because I think that has a lot to do with the way I am and the way I come off to people, because the way you present yourself to other people, it's gonna give that energy off that the way you should be respected. Meaning, if I come off like not necessarily cocky, but if I come off like, oh, like I'm doing this, I got that going on, I'm busy because I'm a barber, I'm on YouTube, not being cocky or arrogant about it, but just being respectful towards someone. They give you that respect, like, oh, hey, he's doing this, he's on YouTube, he's on Instagram, he's got all this, and I feel that how can I say it, like you put out the energy to the way people are going to treat you and talk to you, and you know what I'm saying, and it has a lot to do with like the way I feel with like all of y'all. Like I show my girl this shit all the time too, dude. Like people will ask me millions of questions about clippers and this, like, oh, you got all the clippers, what do you think about this, what do you think about it? It's like, bro, like, I don't have all the answers, bro. Like I literally don't know none of the specs about my clippers. Like that's why when I do reviews, I never talk about the voltage, the RP, like I don't know none of that, bro. Like I just want to know how this machine is going to cut this dude's hair.
Yeah,
that's all I care about. So that's why my reviews are slightly different, because I don't care about what it says on paper, what the stats say. I want to know how this is going to cut this dude's hair. You know what I'm saying? And when people ask me all these questions, it's like, man, like, I don't know all the answers, bro. Like, I'm just a normal guy cutting hair, but I appreciate it because people value my opinion. And I think that's crazy to me, because the fact that I have so many people valuing my opinion and what I think about clippers is like, it's like, bro, I'm just a dude from Houston who's been cutting hair for 15 years. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm nobody, bro. Like, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, obviously I want a lot for me and my family. And that's the reason for me doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? Obviously I do like helping people who are just getting into the game. Cause I wish YouTube was out, 15 years ago when I was first starting to cut hair, and which it wasn't. I wish it was, because there's so many new barbers getting into the game that they use social media and YouTube and they get good like that. I'm talking about like they go to barber school one day and I see their haircut. I'm like, man, that's a horrible haircut. And they get out of barber school and they're like as good as any other barber already cutting hair for 10, 15 years. Like, bro, like how? Like it took me 15 years to get here and you got here in 9 months. But obviously I know YouTube had a lot to do with it. Instagram had a lot to do with it. And that's the great thing about, the social media thing, man. It's just crazy, how that works.
Bro, both me and Faith learn how to cut hair through YouTube.
I still like learn. I still learn new techniques now. Like, I'm gonna be honest, dude. Like, I never did. Well, not that I never did. I didn't do clipper over comb good until I started watching YouTube. Within maybe like 3-4 years ago.
You find those
I hated
things
clipper over comb. I hated it, bro. Like, I didn't know how to hold the comb properly. Like, I would always like chop too much hair off, and then I'm like, man, let me just take a 2-up and use my blending.
Was it one of Eddie's videos, by the way? Was it one of Eddie's videos?
It was a mixture of Eddie's videos and 360 Jeezy.
Okay.
Like 360 does a lot of clipper over comb work.
Yeah, a lot of he's not the hair and all that stuff.
Yes, and that's what I started doing a lot of. Like, honestly, Basio, and Eddie were like the main three that I really watched a lot. And then I started jumping on Ants a lot also. But like really like starting off, it was them three. Those were like, I guess you can say, my three go-tos when I first started watching YouTube.
That's dope, man. That's funny that you're talking about tools.
Vic,
oh yeah,
and then Ant. And then I literally didn't even know who Chris Basio was until like
later in the game.
I'm gonna be like, hey, same, bro. Like, I knew who 360 was, but I didn't know who Basio was. I didn't know who Get Beam was. Like, I found them just through, I just found them through people talking about them and seeing them on Instagram. Like,
yeah, for me,
that's why a lot of these like bigger barbers, like, I'm not starstruck by some of these dudes. Like, I know a lot of people like, oh man, that's so and so. I'm like, man, like, who cares, bro? Like, yeah. You could, like, I tell a lot of people too, man, like I don't mean to cut you off, but like this YouTube and Instagram stuff, like, it's different than cutting in the trenches.
Oh, guaranteed.
Like it's different, man. Like, I see these people on YouTube and they're putting out great haircuts, not to discredit them at all, but they give themselves an hour to an hour and a half on this haircut. And they get paid $100 for the haircut, and then they get YouTube money, right? Yeah. So it's like, bro, like, okay, you can't compare that to where like people who are in the trenches cutting hair every 30-45 minutes and they're getting $30-40 for a haircut. Like, they got to put out these cuts. So obviously, if I had an hour and a half to put out the same haircut that I just did in 30 minutes, when I take an hour and a half, it's gonna look better, right?
You know what? I feel guilty. I felt guilty about that the other day, dog. I was thinking about that too, because
man, like,
I'm not a barber, right? So when I do a YouTube video, Like literally, I could take 4 hours if I want, and it's in one freaking it's in a enclosed room with a freaking curtain, and it has hella lights. And then I'm like, damn, I'm kind of cheating.
You in a studio, bro, making a movie.
Yeah, you in a studio. You got a VIP, man. What you mean?
But I'm saying though, it's not like you. I see little kids running around in the back of your videos.
It's crazy because a lot of those little kids, a lot of little kids is like my boy's sons. Like my boy Matt, his 3 kids are always running around in the shop. Dude.
Yeah, they're running around in the back of Piche Moco right here.
Yeah, it's different though, man. Like it's like we're different grinds for the same concept, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the shop. It's just because. Like you said, you do it on the side part-time. You just really enjoy cutting hair. Yeah. And I did it because I literally didn't know what else to do in my life. I had no, like, I knew I wasn't good with my hands. I'm not good at making stuff. I'm not phased by Morales. I can't make a clipper be cordless and have different cords to go with a million different clippers and it just be one cord. Like, I know nothing about that, bro. Honestly, like my dad's real good with his hands. I'm not. Like, all I knew was, you know, like when I was in high school and right after high school, like I can cut hair decent. So if I go to school and do this every day, I'm sure I can get good enough to where I can make some type of money. Yeah. So I've been in a shop for since I got out of barber school, you know, and then it's different, like I said, for you and me, because you, like I said, you did it because you really liked cutting hair. Yeah, like you really enjoy the craft and the passion, which is great. That's awesome, dude. And mine was more of, I need to find a way to make some money, and cutting hair seems cool, and I don't really have a boss. But I grew to like it. Like literally, like my first week in the shop, like I was like, man, this is tight. Like I like it. And then it grew on me a lot. But then I kind of got burnt out on it for a little bit. But like I was telling you earlier, I really found myself, you know, like 4 or 5 years ago. And I felt like it's like elevated me even more than where I was at before.
That's dope, bro. That's super dope. I was going to say earlier, you were talking about who like got you into like the top 3 that we were talking about. I think it also has to do with like some people just don't resonate with you. You know what I mean? And I think that's why we appreciate everything that you do, because it's not just that you shout us out and that you give us props and stuff like that. It's also that we like your content in general. You know, we mess with your content. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For me, when I watch videos, when I started watching YouTube again, because I wanted to get back into cutting hair, because I hadn't cut hair in years. And when I was cutting hair, it wasn't what people are doing nowadays. You know what I mean? It was just random haircuts. Yeah. I watched like 20 different people. I'm sure I crossed by Chris Bossio. I'm sure I crossed by 360. I'm sure I did, but until I watched one of Ant's videos, it clicked for me. I was like, oh, yeah, that's what it is.
I think that's the thing too, because a lot of Ant's people watch my videos, watch Ant videos, and watch Eddie's videos, watch Big Al's videos. And for some reason, it's like a little group like this, right? And they probably now they go to Phased by Morales, and they're probably gonna be over there at Ivy Mac, and it's gonna be like a little group. But the cool thing about that is like me and y'all guys, we're like right here. Like, yeah, Ant's bigger, Big Al's a little bigger, Eddie's bigger, but we're like right here. But it's gonna keep going like this, and then that's gonna keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing. And I feel that that's gonna help everyone out in the circle. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think it has a lot. I think it has a lot to do with too, like the type of content and the style of content that Bossio puts out and that 360 puts out versus the type of content that like Ant puts out or I put out. Like you watch me, like not to hate on them, but you watch like mine and Ant's videos, and you know ours is like genuinely like how can I explain it? Like we're trying to give y'all literally step-by-step instructions on how to cut this head. And I'm not taking away anything from Bossio, because I feel like Bossio is a great instructor when it comes to teaching what he does. Yeah. But like I feel like him and Jeezy now do it because we need content.
Yeah.
Showcase.
No, and there's a lot of people out there just watching to watch.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there, and it's relatability, right? Some people relate to them, some people relate to us. People who are going to relate to us more are obviously going to come in on this side of that community. Mm-hmm. That's what's up. Well,
I noticed something about your videos también, Tank. You've been making them longer lately, dog. And you've been
yeah, man. I've been trying to, man. Really, I'm just messing with, like, I guess you can say the algorithm and seeing what sticks. You know, I'm just throwing shit against the wall, bro, and seeing what sticks. Like, I still don't have no actual method to what I'm doing. Like, I'm just doing what I do and hope something once I see.
I like them longer like that, dog. And
yeah.
I know it's crazy. I know it sounds crazy. And this man right here, he basically be like, Morales,
keep it under an hour.
Shorter, fool.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Like,
mine's gonna be
I'm in the middle, dude.
Video fully
Yeah, like I'm
moving.
in the middle. Like my girl tells me the same thing. Like she's like, I think longer videos do better. Like that's what she tells me. And I'm in the opposite side. Like when I watch a video, bro, I'm like this. I'm like, all right, 10 seconds, next 10 seconds.
You and
Like, all right,
99% of people.
that's
So
how I watch it.
this is why I tell Morales. So what I do for a living, I do a lot of L&D, so learning and development of people. So
Okay.
I have to teach. I basically teach, right? But I teach business to people and I teach selling and stuff like that. So when specifically with today's generation of people and even our generation of people, if you don't catch somebody's attention real quick, they're gone. And then once you get them, they're not going to stick around for that long. You know what I mean?
See, and that's one thing too. Like, I don't know if y'all have noticed that I recently changed like not my intro, but like the way I come on, like with my tutorials.
Yep.
And I feel that I don't necessarily say that it's like really like it's not me screaming, but it's me a little more enthusiastic on the mic. And I feel like
1 2 1 2.
Yeah, mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's a little more like, okay, let's see what this dude talking about, you know. And it's just it has a little bit to do with my music side of it, and also me just I honestly feel like I'm a good personality. Like not necessarily like, oh, he's got a good personality, but like when you turn the mic on or a camera on, bro, like I feel like I can go, like I can talk forever, or I can be in front of the camera forever.
I like the fact that you don't edit where you mess up in your video. Because when I be making my
dude,
videos,
I used to,
and my voice,
and I just hated that shit, dude.
But then I'm like, man, this Vato never edits. He always
man. Dog, I used to. Dog, you can ask my girl and ask my kids, bro. Sometimes I'd be in the room for like 30 minutes to an hour doing a voiceover because I'd be like, okay, today we're taking a number 4, and I messed up, bro. Rewind and redo it. Okay, today we're taking a number 4, and I'm go back again. And bro, now it's just like, man, like I'm just gonna talk, and if it comes out wrong, like someone will correct me in the comments, and we'll go back and forth, and it'll be done with. Like it's not. I'm not trying to be perfect. And I think that helps me a lot too, man. Like people, like people see it and they know, like, oh, this dude's real. Like he doesn't have a script, you know, he just recorded his haircut and he talks about it. And I think that I honestly think that's more genuine than anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like when you have someone just genuinely just talking, like, cause y'all know I do it like a lot. I'll do half the haircut, my explanation, and the other half, I'll talk a little bit about what's going on, or you know what I'm saying. And I think that's more genuine than just like watching, like, okay, we're taking the number 3 guard and we're going up to the parietal ridge, and then we're gonna flick out and then put the number 2 guard. Like I feel like that's real, like really boring. So I feel like even messing up gives the video some life. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, oh, he messed up.
Oh, that's on purpose. Nah.
That's just me though.
No, it's funny you say that because I feel like people probably think that I'll be recording and taking hours to do it. I really do sound like a robot, but I'm telling you, it's because I teach. I do like conferences and stuff like that. So I have to sound.
The video you did on the guards.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about when you compared like the 3 different guards, bro. I was like, oh, like who is this? Like this guy is like,
it's a machine.
Like a like, dude. Yes, I was like, this dude is like an official reviewer of like he compares stuff. Like this is what he does for a living. Like he'll tell you what the difference between the iPhone 12 is and the iPhone 10 is. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's like I heard it and I was like, man, this dude like this, he's got it, man. He's got it.
Now I'm a geek all day.
I'm always impressed. Every time he drops a video, I'm always impressed. I'm like,
yeah,
what?
I'll be trying to do my research.
I be thinking we the same, but we ain't. We ain't the same.
He tripping. No, well, we're talking about tools
my videos
now.
Be like 4 hours long, and my son's walking in the room and shit.
You're all trying to get out.
Legit.
You get out. But y'all are talking about tools, which is the best segue. We're gonna segue into the next piece right here, y'all.